Alright, let's dive right in. The last time we restored the night sky to Ilmeg earlier today. Took on the first trial, defeated Titania, and then it turned out that in order to after you defeat Titania, someone has to become Titania. But Feo Ult bit that bullet for us. He was like, yo, I will become the next king because I like you as a human, you know? Grubhub hasn't texted me that my order's in progress, so that's concerning. But we're just gonna have to hope for the best. Alright. So now they are like, hey, we'll go talk to the Crystal Exarch. You go get some sleep. You did lots of work. Because we thwarted the Yulmoran army. You had to retreat because the fairies were gonna fuck them up. Fairies were like, yo, it's time. King has returned. Let's play. Turn the game volume up a little bit now that I'm afraid. Ah, welcome back, miss. We've been expecting you. You'll find refreshments laid out in your quarters. We hope they are to your liking. You'll be retiring now? Very good, miss. I bid you a pleasant evening. Advances. I hope the past few days have not been overly taxing. Pray, take your rest and recover.
From the Exarch, is it? With that mirror of his, he can watch your every move, you know. You'll probably think you're talking to yourself. Still, he's keeping you well fed. Judging by his people's faith in him, he seems to be a decent sort. But so much about him remains shrouded in mystery. Like, what was he doing back in my day? There was no such person when I was around. A lot's happened since the flood, though. Since I was set adrift. I know little more than you do of this city's history in the Exarch's past. Not that it matters. It's Emmett Selk we should be concerned about. When our world was about to be consumed by light, the Ascian in white appeared before us. He said that the only way for us to live on was to bring about the rejoining. Desperate as we were, we heeded his words, not realizing that the flood was of the Ascian's own making. They cannot be trusted. None of them. But Emmett Selk had one thing right. One should not fight blindly. That's what we did. And it cost us everything we held dear.
Tell me about Seto.
What? What about Seto? What is there to say? All right. He's done some growing. When we were traveling together, he was nowhere near as big. And he obviously couldn't speak. I had no idea how much that medallion meant to him. What about you, anyway? You must have a friend like Seto? Chocobo, perhaps? Come on, you tell me something for a change.
Good morning to you, miss. I do hope you are well rested. The Exarch and your companions are presently gathered in the Ocular. He asks that you convene with them at your earliest convenience.
Ah, there you are. You're just in time to welcome our guest.
Please. Did I not explicitly tell you that we would be meeting again soon? Lest you forget, I made you a promise. I have no intention of meddling with your mission. I come only to observe. Your Exarch friend in particular has piqued my curiosity. Summoning you all like that. Most impressive.
You honestly expect us to believe you've come only to observe? Or that you might deign to lift a finger to aid our cause if called upon? Even if there were a sliver of truth in your words, I would never accept your help. Not in my darkest hour. Not after all the suffering your kind has wrought.
So petty. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Wage your war against the Sin Eaters, put each and every Light Warden to the sword, prove yourselves heroes, brave and true, and I will be glad to embrace you as allies. Allies worthy of bearing the burden of truth. Surely such a partnership would be preferable to yet another round of fisticuffs. And thus did the olive branch wither and die. Pity. Well, let no man say I did not try, futile as it was. Though I suspect you will seek me out when you grow tired of making the same mistakes. Difficult decisions lie ahead of you. Decisions best made with the benefit of knowledge to which only the Eternal are privy. For now, I shall resume my shadowy vigil, Whatever you choose to do, make sure it's worth watching, would you?
What was that all about?
A vain attempt to make us doubt our chosen course, most like. As if we'd believe a word that passed his lips. Unless you think there is some truth in what he says.
A kernel, perhaps.
If he simply meant to lead us astray, he could have done so without revealing himself. At least, not in the manner he did. It goes without saying that an alliance with the Ascians is out of the question. But since we have no way of knowing where they might be hiding, it seems only logical to press on with our mission, even if our enemy seems content for it to succeed.
Then let us discuss the Sin Eaters. I would begin by thanking you all for your efforts thus far. In striking down the Light Wardens of Lakeland and Ilmeg, you have accomplished more in your short time here than all of our forces managed in the last century.
That may be, but the Wardens of Calusia, Amareng, and Raktika remain.
Indeed, and their precise whereabouts are as yet unknown. Which is why I propose we divide our forces and conduct a systematic survey of each region. Once we have found our quarry, we may then determine how best to proceed.
I'll take Amareng in that case. I know the lie of the land well enough.
If there are no objections, I will make for Calusia. I have connections there both in and around Yulmore that may prove useful.
Then I would ask that you journey to Raktika. There you will find Y'shtola. With her assistance, I doubt the Warden will evade your grasp for long.
Is Y'shtola the conjurer you and Urianger used to talk about?
That's right. Though we haven't spoken much since she left for the forest.
I fear I may be to blame for that. I had every intention of relaying the news of your arrival, but she is disinclined to speak with me. You have visited her, have you not? Might I trouble you to...
Twould be no trouble.
My thanks. While you are all out in the field, I shall be here attending to business. I had somewhat fancifully contemplated joining the search myself, but other matters demand my attention.
What's that?
A missive from Lord Vorthry. He invites me to join him in Yulmore to discuss the recent conflict at Lida Luran.
And? Did he even bother to offer any bait? It's obviously a trap.
I should be surprised if it were not. Nevertheless, I must seize this opportunity to speak with him, even if only a few words are exchanged. Though my power will be much diminished so far from the tower, it is a risk I am willing to take. Master Alphino, might I impose upon you to accompany me to Yulmore prior to beginning your reconnaissance?
Of course.
Then let us make ready. Safe travels to you all.
Before you leave, I would make a request of you. There is a church, or rather the ruins of a church, at Fort Job. Might I ask you go there before seeking out Y'shtola? It was a place where people once gathered to worship the light. Alas, it has long since fallen into disuse. Yet, within that hall there remains a tablet whose writings I believe may prove of use to Y'shtola. At the very least, such a relic would make a suitable gift for your reunion. A most considerate proposal. Very well. Ere we depart to Raktika, we shall journey unto Fort Job that we might secure this relic. Here amidst these ruins we will find the Church of the First Light, and within that hallowed hall the tablet we seek. Time is of the essence, my friend. Let us be quick. At the height of Lakeland's prosperity, these sites served not as man's final bastion, but as testament to his ingenuity and architectural prowess. The Church of First Light was responsible for many such marvels, building majestic chapels every corner of the realm. Alas, the flood with its inexorable tides would drown nigh every one, and did all but put an end to the religion as a whole. For the creatures which then did rise from the fulgent deluge were seen as agents of divine punishment, sent to devour sin and sinner both, whence came the name of Sin Eater. The people were lost, seemingly forsaken by their god. Yet where there is light, there hath ever been shade, and 'twas in the dark they sought solace. The most devout of these worshippers of shadow did then migrate to the Raktika Greatwood, but that is a tale for another time. For now, let us find what remaineth of the chapel here. Aye, this is indeed the church we seek. It is surprisingly intact. What little is left of the churches I've seen until now has always borne the scars of decades of disuse. Its subterranean construction hath done much to protect the hall from the ravages of time, yet the reason for its remarkable preservation may be deduced from its decoration. As faith in the light did wane, so rose reverence for the dark, and its followers did want for places of worship. To be plain, the standards which do adorn these walls belong not to those who built them, but to worshippers of the dark, the Knights Blessed. You subsequently migrated to Raktika, yes? Indeed, 'twas beneath the shade boughs of the Raktika Greatwood that I skipped the dialogue, that they finally found sanctuary. Often, many times did Yulmore make spurious overtures of friendship unto them, but they are no fools. The Exarch knoweth full well that Y'shtola in her seclusion doth labour to learn all she may of the blessed in their past. 'Tis why he sent us here, I now see. The tablet of which he spoke, no doubt, provideth a glimpse into the history that she so yearneth to comprehend. Well then, we better hurry up and find it. Don't worry, because I am from the future. I know that it is right here. Right meow in that there desk. I've located the Time-worn tablet. Hey guys, I'm not going to walk over there and pick it up. I'm going to point and say, look, I found it. Within the altar, thou sayest. Naught escapeth thine eye, 'twould seem. This is indeed the tablet we seek. Curious, these engravings predate the Knights Blessed. If I am not mistaken, they are writ in the script of the ancient language of Ronka, whose capital once stood in the midst of what is now Raktika. It'll be no small matter to decipher them. A fine gift for our seeker of truth. 'Tis plain the Exarch understandeth Y'shtola only too well. But come, let us quit this place and make ready for our journey into the woods. Ere we depart, there is a custom of the Knights Blessed which I feel compelled to elucidate. As one might expect, they deem light to be abhorrent, and everything it touches befouled. Thus do they take the utmost pains to protect all they can from its taint, including their very names. To speak plain, it is the belief of the Blessed that one's own name must ne'er be uttered in the light of the everlasting day. Yet this commandment precludeth not to use of another's. Thus do parents protect their children, and in rare cases masters their disciples. So it is that Y'shtola hath taken the name of Master Matoya. Lest we offend them, I bid you speak not her true name in the Blessed's presence. With that in mind, let us speak with the guard who keepeth vigil at the Great Wood's border. Y'shtola has taken up the name of Master Matoya, her own master back on the source. The grumpy old lady who's helped us time and time again. Well met, traveler. What business brings you here? Yes, of course. Right this way.
No matter how far he goes, man cannot resist looking back on the path he has walked. The untold stories and secrets of the past can be more alluring than the promise of tomorrow. And so he braves the forests of Raktika in search of mystery and wonder. Of Ronka, to which all seekers of hidden truths are inevitably drawn.
Lahi.
We have arrived. Vast though these woods may be, they are, by and large, uninhabitable. Not so the swamps of Cydia, however, whose sparse foliage permitted man a foothold. No lands must remain beyond our grasp. Go forth, conquer, rule!
Forgive me. A sudden pang of nostalgia for those halcyon days. Exploring virgin territories, subjugating primitive peoples, all for the glory of Garlemald.
If you've brought your ivory standard, I'll be happy to tell you where to stick it.
Can we not simply take a moment to enjoy the view together? Or would you rather I spied on you from the shadows? Much more of this, and I may very well begin to regret my show of good faith.
If you really want to stay, then help us fight.
No, I think not. I am an observer, nothing more. Even shielded by the shadows of these boughs, I feel the light's presence most keenly. To accompany you is taxing enough. To fight is out of the question.
I will suffer your company if I must, but not your commentary.
Tis plain our Ascian counterpart meaneth to follow wheresoever we lead. Were it otherwise, he would not suffer the overabundance of light in these woods. Verily, it pervadeth every corner, and so long as the Light Warden remaineth, the Sin Eaters shall be free to prey upon these lands without surcease. If naught is done, 'tis but a matter of time before the Blessed succumb. 2 years past, a swarm of Sin Eaters did lay waste unto their largest settlement, killing a great many of their priests in so doing. Though some few did survive, they knew not how to go on, wayward souls in want of a guiding hand. For mercy, Y'shtola hath provided that which they sorely needed. They have since endeavored to restore their home, and thither shall we bend our steps, the fort gone. my driver will be here in a moment with my food, so I will be right back, because I like this cutscene that's coming up, so I want to make sure I'm sat down and ready. Proper fashion, my order has been entirely botched. Excellent. Grubhub, give me back my money. Let's see. Alright, this will get me back a good chunk of money, because they, you know, didn't provide a third of my order. So. Alright. Burned down to town. You remember from the trailer, is where Urianger and Y'shtola stood, while everything burned down around.
I see little sign of recent activity, nor hath any meaningful progress been made with the reconstruction. Mayhap Y'shtola sought shelter elsewhere. Come, let us quit this place.
Now! Surround them!
These senators, they're not like the others.
There's a reason for that. Lower your weapons, please. We mean you no harm.
How is it they can speak?
It's a sin-eater trick.
They mean to kill us all!
Please, we're not Sin Eaters.
Perhaps they speak the truth.
Oh, for the love of... I had hoped that by accompanying you, we might come to understand one another. But all I have come to understand is that you have a knack for inflaming the natives. You've committed the cardinal sin of boring me. And so, I retire to the shade.
What's that? They think you're Sin Eaters? Let me just make your life a little bit harder by teleporting away in darkness.
There! Did you see that one disappear?
I think I preferred La Habrea.
Enough. Runard, report.
Master Matoya!
Y'shtola's here, and she do be looking fine, though.
We apprehended them as you ordered, but are you certain these are Sin Eaters?
The intense light of the ether I saw was unmistakable. If not Sin Eaters, then what?
'Tis passing queer that Y'shtola should mistake us for the enemy, is it not? Mayhap it hath been too long since last she beheld the radiance of thine ether. Master Matoya, hath time truly made strangers of us?
Nay, I recognize you, Urianger, Thancred. And this is Minfilia of the First, of whom you spoke before.
Just so. And knowing as thou must that we come in peace, might I prevail upon thee to have thy comrades lower their arms?
First explain this other presence in your company, the one I know not. There is but one manner of creature in this world whose ether is suffused with such an abundance of light.
Mine apologies, Master Matoya, but thou art mistaken. Before thee standeth our dearest comrade, the truest hero among us. Though she is but recently arrived here in the First, not one but two Light Wardens have already perished by her most puissant hand.
It cannot be.
It's been too long, clearly.
Master Matoya?
Lower your weapons. Forgive us this hostile welcome. Come. I would give you a proper introduction to Raktika and its people.
This is the first time they really remind us that Y'shtola's blind. When she utilized Flow in the first game, as you can see, she has no pupils. The light in her eyes died out because of the magic she employed. So she sees purely by the ether. And something that she sees in our ether made it so she didn't even recognize us. It's a little strange, but maybe it's just that it's been so long. You've been busy since arriving in the First, I gather, but I would hear the tale of your travails in more suitable surroundings. With the fort gone, yet to be rebuilt, the Knights Blessed have made their home in a settlement to the northeast. I will await you at its entrance. Follow the path through yonder gate, and you will find me soon enough. There you are. I was beginning to worry. Much like the Twelves would, this forest has a way of dealing with those who stray too far from the beaten path. But I digress. Let me show you the home of the Knights Blessed.
Slitherbow is the largest of the blessed settlements. They worship no gods, instead revering darkness itself. It is a curious kind of faith, but one which has granted them the strength to persevere in the wake of the flood. I hope you weren't expecting a grand feast by way of welcome. They are a simple people. Now, I would hear of your travels away from prying ears. Come. I see. And now you seek the Light Warden of Raktika. In the days after I arrived in the First, I too relied upon the Crystal Exarch for guidance. But his penchant for secrecy and the telling of half-truths soon lost him my trust. And thus did I strike out on my own. My work eventually led me here to the forest, which I've come to know like the back of my hand. I cannot say with certainty where your quarry is hiding, but I am confident I can narrow the search.
Well, go on then.
Some few thousand years ago, this forest stood at the heart of the Empire of Ronka. A great many relics of that civilization can still be found to the east in Ixmaya. Or rather, could be found, were the area not fiercely guarded. Ixmaya, you see, is home to a tribe of warriors whose lineage is said to date back to the time of the Empire. Any attempt to enter their territory is met with lethal force. They offer no warnings, and suffer no trespasser to escape. Needless to say, my every attempt to survey the area has been thwarted.
Mayhap the Warden hideth there, full knowing none may approach it for fear of these protectors.
As for the tablet, I find the timing of its discovery suspiciously convenient. If I did not know better, I would think someone was trying to curry favor with me. Regardless, it will take time to decipher these writings. Yet I would not be at all surprised if they somehow held the key to entering Ixmaya unmolested. The Exarch has a nose for serendipity.
If there is aught I can do to assist thee in unraveling their secrets, Thou needst only ask.
Thank you, Urianger. I may well take you up on that offer. While we set to work, might I suggest you take a tour of the city? Should you be in any doubt as to the importance of your role as the Warrior of Darkness, the people here will surely cure you of it.
I must say, Stola, while most of us have struggled to come to terms with our altered circumstances, you seem to have adapted rather well.
Lest you forget, Master Matoya and I dedicated our lives to uncovering the truth which hides at the heart of our world. Though separate, the fate of this reflection is nevertheless bound to that of our home. That I would be daunted by such an invaluable opportunity is absurd. But what of you, Thancred? Could it be that you are still struggling to come to terms with the nature of your young companion?
Joel is spitting fire.
My struggles are none of your concern. Quite why you would speak thus and in this company, I do not know. Perhaps you left more of yourself back in the source than I assumed. If you'll excuse me.
He understands that I'm not the same, that I'm not her.
Understands, perhaps, but does not accept. The question being whether he ever will. And whether you will, more importantly. As difficult as your circumstances may be, they are yours, not his. 'Tis you and you alone who bears ultimate responsibility for your life. But you need not make any hard choices now. Why not go and get some fresh air, clear your head?
I am not indifferent to Thancred's troubles. Nevertheless, I will not apologize for holding him to a higher standard after all these years. He has ever been a man of considerable resolve, and that is what I will continue to expect. Though it heartens me to know that some of us remain ourselves in spite of our present circumstance. I can but imagine how Alfino and Alize have changed since arriving here on the first. Change is a part of life. We can but hope it's changed for the better. You're right. And after my untoward remarks to Thancred, no doubt he thinks I changed for the worst. I'll have to speak with him later. Returning to the matter at hand, I really must begin work on deciphering this tablet. In the meantime, perhaps you should take a look about Slitherbough. If there's anything you need, pray speak to Runar in the plaza. Poor little Minfilia. Poor baby Minfilia. Excuse me. Welcome, my friend, welcome. I have auto decks on for some reason. My apologies for our less than hospitable greeting earlier. Tell me, what is your name? From where do you hail? From the Custarium, I see. And this tablet you brought may help us find the Light Warden here in Raktika? Well, you're welcome to stay with us for as long as you need. Come, let me show you around. Would it be alright if I joined you? Of course, of course. Anything for the guests of our dear Master Matoya. Thank you. She means a great deal to the Knights Blessed, doesn't she? Not for her, we may have all perished in the Great Fire. With our priests slain and our home in ruins, we were at the mercy of the Sin Eaters. It was she who drove them back. With her sage guidance, we were able to rebuild. Before long, she became a central figure in our community, a great oak within these shadows, within whose shadows we may have come to find solace. That is not to say that there were not those hesitant to grant an outsider such authority, myself included. Perhaps it is the smile in her eyes when she speaks of the sunless sea. I feel whole again, now that she is with us, and I have no doubt the others feel the same. She is as much a part of the Knights Blessed as any of us, and we are grateful for all she does in service to the dark. But you did not hear this from me, yes. Now, you should know there are certain customs we ask guests to adhere to so long as they reside within Slitherbow. Show reverence to the dark. In a word, yes, but fear not, it is not too involved. Let us begin with something simple. Follow me. Should you see any of our people come into this chamber, they've likely returned from a journey beyond the borders of Raktika. We use the water stored here to cleanse ourselves of the light's impurity. A simple and perhaps peculiar custom, but it is one of our most important. Would you two kneel for just a moment, that I might rid you of the light's impurity? Kneel. As Runar lightly sprays you with water, your skin begins to tingle. And with that, you have been cleansed of the light's blooded touch. How do you feel? I'm not sure, to be honest. Not refreshed exactly, but I do feel different. Has the water been treated in some way? Only blessed by our priests. They are practiced in the arcane arts. As such, it is said their prayers imbue the water with a faint, dark energy. A prickling sensation. No one has ever spoken of such a reaction before. I wouldn't say it was an unpleasant sensation, but I too felt something strange. The dark aspect of this water should have no discernible effect, unless... By the gods, Master Matoya was right. You are Sin Eaters. I jest. What you felt was likely no more than the chill of the water. Perhaps now would be a good time for you to acquaint yourselves with the people of Slitherbow. For that, I must teach you a customary greeting. Alim Tuta, in the language of Ronka, is one of several ways one might say good evening. The world is not as safe as it once was, and this greeting lets us quickly discern friend from foe. Is there a handshake or gesture we should know too? I would hate to offend anyone. You need not worry. Merely speak the words Alintuta, and they will know you as friends of the Blessed. I will await your return here. Now go. They would like to be heartened by your knowledge of our ways. Nope. Too many T's. The elderly woman smiles warmly. Ah, a newly come traveler. Aline Chisai. Chisi, welcome to Slitherbow. You must forgive us if we seem strangely reserved. We are a quiet and taciturn people. Silent and serene as the sunless sea. Quiet makes it easy to discern the presence of eaters and other dangers here in the wood. Away with you. I forgot to say Aline Tuta. Aline GC, welcome friend. I take it you will remain in these woods for some time, yes? Be wary of these woods. You will find poison in near everything you see. But fear not, our medicinal tea will keep you healthy. Ask and it's yours. Everyone was so kind and gracious. I was nervous at first, but already I'm starting to feel at home. There's still much I have to learn about the Knights Blessed, but their faith and their strength of will is nothing short of inspiring. I can see how they built such a thriving community. Ah, you are returned. Very good. No doubt they were glad of your company. It has been too long since we have had visitors. Remember, if you have any questions, or if there anything you need, do not hesitate to ask. Speaking of which, we must arrange food and lodgings for your stay. As friends of Master Matoya, we cannot ask for payment, but if you would be willing to lend a hand, it would be my pleasure. We are fortunate indeed to play host to such generous souls. The task I have in mind is simple enough. All I ask is you take a jug and water the crops in the square. May I help too? Of course. One of you can do the filling and the other the watering. Speak with Ursabel when you have finished. She will be relieved to hear the crops have been tended to. While you take care of that, I will see to your room and a warm meal. Right then, I'll fill you water. This was the only jug I could find which was small enough to lift, and I'm afraid there's a crack at the bottom. You'll need to hurry to the garden before all the water leaks out. You watered half the plot. We'll do it again. Is there enough water for the plot? Only half. I see. Well, let me refill the jug for you. Whole plot's been thoroughly watered. Well met, travelers. I observed you earlier speaking with the others. Have you need of something? Don't just watch me water your plants. You watered the crops. Ah, my apologies for not noticing sooner. I have been rather distracted of late. Watering the crops was always Tadia's duty, but she is no longer with us. We have since taken to sharing the duty, though never with guests. You are most kind. Is there anything else we can do to help? We could plant something if you like. There's no need. The plot is small, it is true, but provides us enough to survive. We ask for no more. I do not know how you manage. Had the Blessed not considered leaving, life would surely be easier almost anywhere else. I can understand why you might say that, but the easiest path is not always the right one. Tell me, you know our history? How our faith came to be? Yes, I believe so. The Knights Blessed were initially formed by those who lost their homes in the wake of the flood. What began as an occasional gathering of survivors eventually grew into a community, which ultimately decided to strike out on its own into the Raktika Greatwood. I see you've read your history, but there's a history that is told and one that is lived. Like so many in those times, the first of the Knights Blessed lost everything. Their homes, their loved ones, all they held dear. To make matters worse, none could say what became of the souls of those lost to the flood when their bodies were reborn as Sin Eaters. The people were without answers, without hopes, their gods having drowned along with everything else. It seemed that nothing was beyond the reach of the light. But soon they realized that where there is light, there must be darkness. And in that truth they found new faith, a belief that the souls of the departed could yet find peace beyond the burning skies in the sunless sea above. That's why we pray, for the safe passage of wayward souls unto that blessed black abyss, for the return of the night, that we might someday look upon the kingdom of heaven with our own eyes. We remain in these woods for the selfsame reason our founders first chose them, that we may lead lives of simplicity, with the shade of these trees as a constant reminder of our faith. With so many seeking paradise in Yulmore, it's refreshing to find people who value a humbler existence. You're kind to say so. Many consider a way of life foolish, and so it must seem to those who yet cling to their worldly possessions. In times such as these, when everything can be taken away in an instant, it is all too easy to lose sight of why we fight to go on living. It is not to hold fast to material things, but to hold those who went before in our hearts, to keep alive the legacy they have left us. This we must do for them, our children, and generations yet unborn. Keep their legacy alive. Done tending to the crops already. Very good. Should not be long before your room is ready. Runar! In the woods. Sin Eaters. I fear they may have the touch. Where? In the grove to the southwest. For a mercy, they've yet to wander any closer to Slitherbough. We have no need to engage. Inform the guard that no one is to set foot outside the village until they have moved on. Sir, what of Tadia's Heartstone? It must be retrieved before the service. All the times for Sin Eaters to appear. Are you just going to leave them alone? Under normal circumstances, we would not hesitate in striking the beast down. If they indeed have the touch, I would not risk them corrupting one of our own. What was it you said about a stone? A few days past, Tadia, a child of the Knights Blessed, was slain by a Sin Eater. We succeeded in retrieving her body, but in our haste we failed to notice her necklace was gone. Strung to it was a pendant of jade, her Heartstone. All the Knights Blessed are given one such stone at birth. It is the most valuable possession one can own. It is custom to present the Heartstone of the deceased at their funeral, as an offering to the heavens. But now... What if I could find it for you? I have experience fighting Sin Eaters, and the light's corruption does not touch me like it does others. Master Matoya called you Minfilia, did she not? Are you truly the Minfilia, descended from the Oracle? Even so, I dare not ask you to risk your life for the Blessed. I understand how you feel, but I can't stand by knowing your people are in need and I can help. Please, let me do this. Very well, but if the danger proves too great, you must retreat. I could never forgive myself if we were forced to hold a second service. I nearly forgot about Thancred. What if he returns before I do? Thancred doesn't need to know. What, do you mean to say you'll come with me? Thank you. Let's hurry then, before he returns. Go swiftly, and may the shadows keep you both. Nope. That's indoors. Goose. Wahi! There, the Sin Eaters! I was hoping there would only be one. There's no way we can search for the stone without dealing with them first. Perhaps we should split them up. Good idea. I'll draw one away while you handle the other. Emiliana! There you are. It's done, though I fear I was a bit careless. I'll do better next time, I promise. I'm fine. You needn't worry about me. More importantly, we have to find that Heartstone. They said it was made of jade, right? I'll search over there in the brush. Uh-oh. Do it. It'll be majestic, as all crossovers are. Anytime I'm told to consider anything from my good friends. You brush away the leaves and uncover a brilliant green gem. Wow, I picked the first pile in the large circle for once. Find the thing in the circle is my favorite. Did you have any luck? Yes, I did. It's beautiful. This has to be it. You know, Thancred always said you were a woman of many talents, and I think I'm beginning to understand what he meant. I have much to learn if I'm to be half the hero you are. The hero she was. Ah, I'm sorry. Forget I said anything. We should hurry back to Slitherbow. Brunau and the others are probably worried. Yeah, Shadowbringers is good shit. Good stuff. Like the whole... I basically played through like all of Ilmeg earlier in one fell swoop. And it was some good shit. I just like Endwalker is phenomenal. But I just think I like the environment of Shadowbringers more. Like it's more fantasy-like, and I don't know. Like compared to like sad snowy region number 7, like both are phenomenal, but Shadowbringers has its own fucking amazing charm. Yeah. Hey, but it's a tangent that you know I understand and appreciate as a fellow lover of Morrowind. Thank goodness you're safe. I'd begun to fear the worst. Oh. If I cared, then I wouldn't have chat on stream. And I would communicate with my friendos. By all that is dark, you found it! We can proceed with her service as planned. These blessed gems serve not only to protect us in life, but to guide our spirits under the sunless sea in the hereafter. Even should we be felled by the Sin Eaters, so long as these gems are recovered, our souls are ensured peace in the dark. Words fail to express my gratitude for this kindness you have done for the blessed. I must insist you and your friends attend Tadia's service as honored guests. There is still much we must do to prepare, but please go and inform the others it will be held in the darker. When you arrive, there should be an attendant present to explain the proceedings. Dude, I feel that so hard in terms of just needing to just write when the moment strikes. As someone who frequently doesn't write when the moment strikes and then feels sad. Ileana and I learned so much about the Knights Blessed while you were away, and we helped them recover a lost heirloom out in the woods. I know I wasn't supposed to leave, but they really needed our help. There were Sin Eaters, and... as long as she accompanied you, but do try to be more careful. Your injuries could have been a lot worse. How did you... Let's just say a little bird told me, and it's telling me now that Ileana has business with us. Something the matter? Dankard, be nice. They've asked us to attend the service. Of course we'll go. Being held in the darker, is it? We'll take care not to be late, I promise. Dankard's so angry. He needs to stop. She just wants to be loved. She's like a little puppy. The elderly woman hands you a candle. She then points over at a nearby corner where you might place it. Kin can be nice to Milia than Dankard can. God, Dankard.
It seemed only right that we show our faces. May we join you?
Let us begin. I thank you all for coming to pay respects to our fallen daughter of the night. In the light, she was known as Todia, but in the dark, we shall remember her always as Menine. Let us each take a moment to offer her our prayers. We entrust her now to the night's sweet embrace. In darkness will she be free from pain and suffering, now and forevermore. May her soul find peace in the sunless sea of heaven, and in the love we bear for her in our hearts.
That vessel represents the night sky, the sunless sea of heaven.
Call upon you now, O bringer of shadow, to lead this gentle soul unto the sea. We call upon you, O warrior of darkness, to deliver her unto paradise everlasting.
I am told you assisted in the preparations for the service. On behalf of the Blessed, you have my sincerest thanks.
There we go. Finished devouring my food while I spoke words.
The enduring legend of the Warrior of Darkness owes much to the traditions of these people. And none were more ardent in their faith than Todia. She would have been greatly moved by your presence.
I mean, actually I was being very polite and silent because it was a funeral. Yeah, that's why. You can have Firaga. I don't remember when, it happened, so, you know. Seems real. Also, I absolutely can picture Glit just, like, doing a baseball slide into some DMs. You know I don't deserve such reverence.
You might not deliver her to the heavens, but if you could deliver the night sky to her people, the real night sky, it would be the next best thing. Their prayers would finally be answered. They could gaze up at the firmament and see their ancestors in every twinkle of the stars. We cannot allow their hopes and dreams to drown in the light. We have to bring back the dark. If we don't, who will?
Yeah. Minfilia's got them crystal eyes. I think 100 years. Yeah, the flood was like 100 years ago at least.
Forgive me, thinking of all those we have lost.
No, it's all right. We will bring back the dark.
Mayhaps sooner than later, in fact. Urianger and I have finished deciphering the
That was
tablet,
fast.
and its contents were most illuminating. Let us reconvene in my chambers. We have much to discuss.
Wowee. You read so fast, Stola. Yeah. I honestly... I know I said this back when Shadowbringers came out, but I really just love the cutscene where your Stola finds you again, because it's the first time they really acknowledge that she's fucking blind. Like, she literally doesn't know who you are because your ether's fucked up. It's like... Who the fuck's all this light? It's like, you Stola. Shit. You don't have eyes! Just not really acknowledged in Stormblood, like, at all. Good, you're here. Thanks to the Exarch's gift, our next course of action is now clear. Yes, Stola, I know you love the Exarch. He's a good egg. Play nice. No! Auto text, bad! 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 Bad auto text! Let me begin by first explaining the origins of this tablet. She doesn't like the Exarch just because of all his secrets. She's like, this bitch, like, was all half-truths, and, like, I'm not gonna actually tell you, so I went off and learned it on my own. Fuck that guy. I initially believed it might detail the history of the Church of the First Light. Much to my surprise, it dates back to the end of the Ronkan Empire, and was likely written under the direction of the reigning ruler. It was a time of strife and unceasing war with the neighboring nations. With each passing day, they yielded more and more territory to their enemies. In their desperation, petitions for aid were sent out to their allies. This was one such petition. And you think this ancient petition will somehow help us get into Ixmaya? Indeed we do. For etched into this tablet is a method by which one may prove themselves an ally of the Ronkan Empire. Provided we are able to decipher said instructions, we may entreat the ruin's protectors to grant us safe passage. The problem, however, is that I presently lack the resources to decipher them in their entirety. We have but one recourse. There exists a stone monument inscribed with ancient Ronkan texts and translations into a more modern dialect, which came into use after the fall of the Empire. I am confident it will suit our purposes. Where can we find this monument? Here in Satia, quite close to Slitherbow, in fact. The good news ends there, however, for it is in the possession of a rather radical faction of Dark Worshippers, the Children of the Everlasting Dark. If I am to study the monument, I must infiltrate their encampment. I have no intention of taking longer than absolutely necessary, but I will nevertheless require time to transcribe the text I need. To ensure that I will have enough time, I'm afraid that I must ask you and Thancred to assist me. And before you even ask, the answer is no. If we are to remain unseen, our group must be as small as possible. Alright, I'll stay here until you return. We won't be long. If anything should happen, you keep her safe. God, you'd appreciate this. I forgot how fucked up it is that when Urianger asks, how do I look, you have an option of saying, did you lose weight? That's so fucked up. That's so mean. It's literally the second option is, did you lose weight? It's like, oh, Urianger, you poor bastard. Let's convene outside, to the west of Slitherbow, where the path diverges. I chose the last one, which is like, I didn't even recognize you. Just like, but you saw me without my mask on before. What do you mean you didn't recognize me? Look, Urianger, you're hot now, okay? Let us bask in it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, well, the options are like, you picked up astrology, you lost weight, or I didn't recognize you. Also, I love that someone else pointed out to me that Urianger picked up astrology in a land where you literally can't see the stars. It's like, what are you looking at, bro? The encampment we seek is to the north, but it would be foolish to simply rush in. A guard has been posted posted at Cleric to keep watch over the children. Perhaps he has aught to share of their recent activity. But we must tread carefully. There is a chance we may encounter them along the way. Stay close and stay alert. I would avoid a confrontation if possible. They rejoice in dealing death to others, claiming that in doing so they cleanse their victim of sin and usher them into the sunless sea. I would rather not sully my hands defending myself against such a madman. Oh, you got fucking sun-blinded. No! Poor Uriasha. He just wanted to play with the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. We all know. That's the best part of Astro, is playing with the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh, I've got a friendo on the exact same quest as me. Let's go. No. What was your hobby? Were you staring at the sun? By the blessed dark. Thank goodness you are unharmed. We would have arrived sooner, but we too had a rather unwelcome visit from the children. You're an acquaintance of Master Matoya, then. My apologies. The children have been acting strange of late, so I thought to take a closer look. I was careless. Strange. What have you seen? At first, there seemed to be nothing out of the ordinary, the usual gathering of ingredients for poisons from flora and fauna. But when I took notice of their venomous spiders, they've been breeding them in much greater numbers. It is as if they're preparing for something. Any ideas as to what? It'd be anything, really. I mean, if it meant the end to the blessed, nothing would be too cruel or violent for them. But perhaps we can use their present preoccupation with spiders to our advantage. If we were to introduce a threat to the nests where they keep them, the children would be compelled to save them. Bees, for example, are a natural predator of spiders. Let them loose on the nests, and we would have our opportunity to sneak into their encampment. A mischievous plan. I like it. But with a bit of smoke, we should be able to subdue a few colonies long enough to secure their hives. Have you anything we might be able to use? We should have smoke bombs at the outpost over there. And it's settled. Grab a few smoke bombs from the outpost and search for the beehives. I imagine the bees won't take too kindly to your visit, but once they're knocked out, take the beehives and bring them back here. 2 will suffice, I should think. Not the bees! Don't blink at the sun. Oh no. God, I really want to, like, analyze Y'shtola in Shadowbringers a bit more, because, like, just the whole idea of her watching your ether as everything happens, and, like, it just getting more and more fucked up. Shit, that's something I want to explore. Did I watch the video that you put in the memes channel? No, I meant to tab it into a new video. Tab it into a new screen so I could watch it after. Yeah, I saw the man was holding an instrument, and I was like, I need to watch this at some point. Oh god. Fuck it, 10 seconds, I'm just gonna watch it right now. Yes. Good shit. The bees! Dude, I was also very bad at clarinet, even though I played it on and off through high school and college. Though I do remember that actual clarinet majors looked at my clarinet and were like, how the fuck do you make sound out of this thing? Because it had a crack through the mouthpiece that was so bad that they were like, wow, the fact that you can play this is amazing. Guess I'm a god. What can I say? Nope, I forgot to pick up the things in the bag. Get in the bag! Put the bees in the bag! Why are they not clicking? Bag. Thank you. But yeah, after Endwalker, the Y'shtola dating scene, I realized that I think Y'shtola and Kin are going to be much better friends throughout everything than I kind of originally anticipated. Because, like, Y'shtola acts all standoffish, but then, like, she just watches your ether deteriorate and, like, actually cares. She's like, dude, that was horrifying, and I'm not here for it, so, like, take care of yourself, please. The guards returned to Slitherbow, but not before offering his thanks. As for the beehives, Thancred and I were successful in acquiring what we need. How did you fare? This is more than enough. The children are certain to be displeased. Let us hurry before the bees begin to stir. The children's settlement is to the west, a place they call the Woven Oath. According to the guard, there is an airway apart from the entrance which leads to the spiders' nests. If the fates are kind, the way will be clear. Yeah, having only one of them. I hear you. I see what the brainworms are writing. Brainworms do be wriggling. Lahi. Up there is the airway. Do you see it? A bit far, perchance, but we should be able to toss the bag through. Though we should probably loosen the ropes keeping it closed, enough that it falls open when it lands inside. May I do the honors? Thancred's chucking bees! Yeah, those are very cute emotes. Oop, I smacked my microphone. That should do it. Now we wait. What is that? Bees! By the abyss, they're everywhere! Help! Someone help! We have to save the spiders! Sounds like our plan is working. Still, it is quite likely not all were drawn away from their posts. You should come to blows with the children. I'll see to it any signs of struggle are concealed. Failing that, I'll create a distraction to buy Y'shtola more time. Should anyone get past me, it falls to you to guard her. Your concern is appreciated, but I sincerely doubt it will come to that. Why do I get the feeling you enjoy the idea of my loafing about bored in the shadows? Come now, Thancred, the shadows are a more fitting place for a warrior of darkness. Now, if you both are ready. I'm envisioning Machinist or Gunbreaker just because they like trains. Lahi! Oh, dude, just because you'll appreciate, you know, brainworm, a different kind of creative brainworm that do be wriggling, I've come up with a new visual alteration to Kin. I've decided that after the events of Shadowbringers, she's got a scar that isn't really a scar, just like a patch of skin like that kind of is over her heart and sort of travels up her neck, and where it intersects with her scales, the scales are white. So it's kind of like, because you know how like Sin Eater's skin is like plastery and white? It's like a patch of that never never healed after the light escaped. So it's like not very much, but just like a patch of like her like neck scales, like a sliver of it is white scale instead of black scale. Yes, hello. I am changing my character shit years later because I have no self-control. Golden boy. Ooh, alright. The Font of Seeing suggests this is a chamber for prayer. At the very least, they would not place the near potential distractions. At least they would not place this near potential distractions from their worship. Perhaps the monument is further in. I can read English, I promise. Big promise, can read. I always forget that I gave Kid a face tattoo. It's just like, I think it's not actually a tattoo. I think it's just like facial markings. You can't really see it in this light, but like look around the eyes. It's just like a little eye tattoo that I'm always like, oh yeah, that's a tattoo. Neat. Too dark in here. Now I need to like make sure I'm not making it up. Did it go away? Did I lose my facial tattoo? Did it get lost? Yeah, just like I can't, how do you fucking pause? Pause. There we go. I was like, what's the pause button? I couldn't do it during raid either. Yeah, it's like the little line. I always forget that's there. And I think the one drawing I did of her, I didn't even include it. Yeah, little swirlies. Yes, this is it. I will be but a moment. Keep watch at the entryway. On second thought, would you mind examining the murals on the walls while I look over this? At a glance, I can tell they are old, predating the founding of the Blessed and the Children, in fact. We are not like to come here a second time. It would behoove us to learn all that we can. God, did I tell you about my brain worms for Stormblood? I just got a spam text from the sex bot. Let's go. Made it in the world. Just because, like, the whole thing is that Kin's from the steppe, so I'm just envisioning her having to go get her mother's permission to join the Nodum. It's like, technically she's already gone through Barnum's Medal, but she's got to go back home, and yeah. Like, you gotta get your parents' permission to fight for the mole. Wasn't sure if it was you or Morgan. Oh god. Fucking triggers. I forgot the haptic triggers. The mural appears to be very old. A ruler sits atop a throne, attended by their subjects. The mural appears to be fairly old. A knight shields himself and their comrades from an encroaching darkness. The central figure is considerably faded. I missed one. Where did I miss? Hello. The mural appears to be ancient. A warrior in the middle stands triumphant over what appears to be a creature of shadow. Other figures surround the warrior, rejoicing in their victory. Ah, nice.
These paintings, they seem familiar. Depictions of heroes throughout history. The Age of Gods, the Empire of Ronka, and this
Hit you.
There was a man, a researcher who pored over these pieces. He offered us work when we needed it, slaying beasts, delivering provisions. A funny old bugger he was, but he had a good heart. He believed this first painting dated back to a time of myth and legends, a tribute to the heroes of a long-forgotten era. The story went that it was rediscovered by an explorer from Ronka, who was so struck by its majesty that a second painting was commissioned, commemorating the heroes of their day. One day you will all be here too, he said. Heroes immortalized forever. Maybe I'll paint you myself?
What, you don't think he looks fly with those glasses and that hair?
We were only trying to make our way after all. Being heroes couldn't have been further from our minds. But it seems he actually went and did it. Before or after the flood, I wonder. Rather faded, isn't it, compared to the others? Or did someone try to scrape it off the wall? Well, maybe the man himself once he came to his senses. Do you suppose your deeds will warrant an addition to this collection? Or some other kind of monument?
Oh, my dude's fucking more in a graveyard, let's be real here. My sanity is also buried there.
There you are. I have everything I need. Let us quit this place.
I'm amazed that at no point through this story we go, hey, we're seeing ghosts. Like, the Warrior of Light keeps their own counsel, but I feel like it's something they'd bring up.
Something the matter? We should go. The others are waiting.
This is why none of your friends trust you to say anything after a certain point. They're like, fuck, you were seeing a ghost for how long? And you just didn't say anything? Like, look, he kept walking into my bedroom at night. It was weird. Made comments about my sandwich. Especially because, like, they know him. Like, you'd think that the Warrior of Light would be like, so the Warrior of Darkness is haunted. To be fair, you can mention it to the Crystal Exarch, and he just jokes about it and, like, acts like it's nothing. You can make a comment about a haunted room, and he's like, I didn't know the room was haunted, and then, like, moves on with his life. It's like, no, bitch, I'm serious. The room is haunted. Maybe that's why she doesn't talk about it, because Exarch didn't take her seriously. I believe I now have everything I need to finish deciphering the tablet. Tell me, Kiliana, do the murals appear to be of any significance? Depictions of heroes, from the Age of Gods, the Ronkan Empire, and immediately before the Flood. Very astute observations. Perhaps in another lifetime you could be a curator of antiquities. Though, it has no bearing on the task at hand. Perhaps that knowledge may prove to be of use in the future. No? Huh, weird. No reason. Let us hurry to Slitherbow. The others are waiting. After we've returned, the two of you should rest a while. No doubt Runar will be eager to have you sample his cooking. As soon as I discover anything of import, you'll be the first to know. That sounds about right. I love that every Warrior of Light Y'shtola fic that I've read, which is more than I'll admit recently, just like completely makes no mention of Runar at all. It's like, we're writing him out of this. He's not important. That, or everyone has come to the conclusion that Makote apparently are okay with more open relationships. Apparently there's like a tribe of them that everyone universally is like, yeah, they're cool with that. Yeah, look. Runar, you can't have her, okay? Ian's not even romantically inclined with her, but she's my best friend, and you can't have her, alright? Okay. Exactly. I just love that it seems to be like universally accepted. Like, there's definitely like some Reddit or something somewhere where everyone's like, all right, here's all of our stereotypes about these characters that Yoshi P is too much of a coward to give us, and we're all just going to agree. Especially when it comes to gay shit. Kenyana, the guard told me you left with Master Matoya to wove an oath. And no sooner do you return than she locks herself away in her chambers without so much as a word. She knows how I worry when she leaves without telling me. But she is safe, and that is all that matters. You must be hungry after such a journey. Why not have a seat there by the fire? The stew will soon be ready. Look, Yoshi P, just let us smooch our teammates, okay? That's what we all really want here. And I'll admit, you gave us a dating scene that was, like, halfway there, but you just gotta go all the rest of the way. You know? And imagine living in a world where it just was always terrible sunlight. Miserable.
Strange. The others on patrol should have returned by now. Our food will be overcooked if we wait any longer. We will just have to start without them. Would you call Master Matoya and the others?
Oh, this is an important scene. We're about to eavesdrop.
I tire of these games, Urianger. Why do you pretend you cannot see it? The blessing may spare her the fate of becoming a Light Warden. But you cannot be blind to the nascent corruption. She is not as she was in the Source. Though I have no proof, I fear that the light which poured forth from the Wardens was not negated at all. I fear it was absorbed, that she has been suffused with their light.
Though I have given thought to this possibility, I dare not speak until more is known.
By the time you deign to enlighten us, it may be too late, if it is not already. Urianger, I know full well, after all these years, that you have only the best of intentions. But that does not make it any easier to put my faith in a man so infatuated with secrecy. I have had my suspicions ever since the Exarch bade you speak that day. But now I must ask. The 8th Umbral Calamity and all that followed. Everything you claim to have seen. Did you?
Ange.
Help! Someone help!
He was probably about to say no. He was probably about to admit it.
Come for us. We're under attack.
Fucking blessed man. Ruining some perfectly good character development of Urianger telling the truth. Now we have to wait a whole X-Pack for that. Meanwhile, in Yulmore, where the grossest man in 14 is going to grace us with his presence on my screen. Bothry is just a gross man-child. And, you know, they didn't have to do this. I see why they did, but they didn't have to.
Lord Bothry, how good it is to see you. How long has it been? Not since your inauguration, unless I'm mistaken. Too long, at any rate. May I say how humbled I am to be invited not only into your city, but your home. You are as generous as ever.
I love how fucking smug he is as Exarch.
You as disingenuous. Let us dispense with the pleasantries. This merry band of dissidents people are calling warriors of darkness. They have slain Sin Eaters, and by all accounts the Crystarium is complicit in their villainy. And now I hear reports of your people obstructing my soldiers. So I must ask, what exactly do you think you are doing?
I might ask you the same thing. It should be clear, even to you, that defeating the Light Wardens represents the world's only hope of survival. Even now, the people of Lakeland and Ilmeg rejoice in the return of night.
I don't actually know.
For 100 years, they yearned for a means to fight back against the Sin Eaters, and at last they have found
Still haven't watched the
Yet you
thing
choose to
back.
stand idly by and do nothing. Why?
Why? Because this hope you cling to is nothing more than a fever dream, an exercise in futility. Even should you slay the Sin Eaters, the world as we know it is beyond salvation. With what little land and resources remain, the people would be free only to starve. Before long, they would turn to violence, then to war, and ultimately usher themselves unto oblivion. They require a firm hand to shepherd them from the edge. The hand of a king, nay, a god. I will see their dreams fulfilled, their wishes granted. I will give them peace, order, and they shall never want for bliss. Men are fickle creatures who entertain vague ideals without the faintest notion what they cost. But a little fear can go a long way towards helping them realize what it is they truly need. Sanctuary. And they shall find none in this world save that which I afford them. That is why the Sin Eaters exist. To unite the world under my dominion.
Tell me more.
A paradise fit to grace the 8th Umbral era.
What was that?
A minor epiphany, nothing more. You have always held sway over those around you. Those who defy you must submit or die. What sits before me is the inevitable result of bloated privilege and unchecked power. But man is more resilient than you think. His achievements are not the product of violence and bloodshed, but compassion and understanding. This calamity is but another crisis to be overcome, and we will, once we eliminate the Sin Eaters.
You poor deluded fool. These people care not for the morrow. They care only for the now, and the contentment they lack. What good is a paradise to them if it is 1,000 years in the making, or even 100?
You underestimate them, Lord Forthry. They see further than you think. I have beheld it in the blood and sweat and tears of those who would sacrifice everything for a future they may never know, that their children may never know. I have beheld it in the hopes and dreams of those who came before, which we bequeath to those who come after, that they might in turn build upon the foundations laid by our forebears. These are the bonds which hold man and his world together, not your gilded chains, and I will resist your every effort to shackle him.
In summary, you will continue to support the villains hunting my Sin Eaters?
With tremendous enthusiasm, for I have faith in the future they would build.
Why do I even bother? Fools, the lot of you! So naive! So painfully predictable! Did you imagine I did not know your mind? That I would wait until after this meeting to dispatch my forces? Even as we speak, they march to the Sin Eaters' defense. Insurrection will not be tolerated! The people of this world are mine to rule,
that's good.
mine to command. And you are no exception.
Joke's on you, I'm not really here, bitch.
What? How did he? Insolent swine! I will
Temper
not
tantrum.
for this. Do you hear me?
He's hitting the ground repeatedly. He's enraging. Oh shit. Ranjit.
You speak for the Knights Blessed?
I do. I presume that is your doing. If you have come to parley, I must insist that you first return him to us.
You're in no position to make demands. By Lord Vorthry's decree, Raktika now falls under the governance of Yulmore. You will henceforth answer to us.
Is that so? And the children of the Everlasting Dark have acquiesced to this madness.
Is that just the Reaper coat before Reaper came out?
Too many times have the Knights Blessed shunned Yulmore's overtures
Neat.
of friendship. The risk that you harbor hostile intentions has grown too great to ignore. Therefore, his lordship has claimed dominion over this forest and bestowed executive authority on the children of the Everlasting Dark.
In his wisdom, Lord Vorthry has agreed to recognize ours as the only permissible expression of dark worship. It's one true
Dark
faith.
worship.
You and your false creed are a blight on these woods. A foul, unholy corruption that must be cleansed. Little wonder the Warrior of Darkness visits both Lakeland and Ilmeg, yet shuns Raktika. Your perverted teachings hold blessed shadow.
Actually, I'm right over here.
You have accepted the yoke of Yulmore to spite us, then? Fools. Darkness will never return to these skies while they hold sway.
Those of you minded to obey his lordship are to make for Woven Oath with all haste. We will leave you, that you may have time to prepare.
Woven Oath? Are you suggesting we abandon our fate to join those zealots?
What has your faith afforded you thus far? Nothing! We will guide you along the right.
But what is yours afforded? Dead spiders. Weird how those bees suddenly attacked him.
We refuse.
Anyone found here upon our return will be considered a traitor to Yulmore and dealt with as such.
Because you're so bad at worshipping darkness, bees attacked you. Out of nowhere, I assure you. Slitherbow doesn't have to deal with bees. R.I.P. to the Hobie.
We will discuss these developments after I have tended to our casualty.
The guard hath been afflicted with the most terrible and efficacious poison. We have attempted all manner of healing incantations. Alas, his condition remains unchanged. At present, we can but slow the poison's advance. I pray it will afford us sufficient time to find a cure. How fareth the young guard? The poison spread throughout his system long before he was brought here. At present, there is naught we can do but try to ease his pain. Do not blame yourselves, my friends. All that can be done has been done. Even had we reached him sooner, it would have made little difference. The children employed countless poisons. Finding a suitable antidote is a nigh impossible task. What of the rest of the Blessed? How have they taken news of Yulmore's generous proposition? With anger and dismay, we cannot hope to oppose both them and the children. I considered a convocation of all the Knights Blessed that we might consider their ultimatum, but I know how they will answer. Master Matoya, I am truly sorry. You will not, cannot, abandon our faith. But there is no reason for you to suffer for our decision. Your work is not yet done, and you still have time to flee. Flee? I am not one to run from my troubles. I am not one to run from my troubles. In fact, with Kinliana's arrival, I am minded to take the offensive. The Ilmoran's presence here plainly stems from a desire to protect the Light Warden. I say we seek it out and slay the creature before they return. Were darkness to fall over Raktika, they would have no cause to remain. All of which is rather easier said than done, unless, of course, you finally deciphered that tablet. I have, as a matter of fact, and with that we can prepare everything we need to enter Ixmaya. What say you all? We will need to act quickly, but I believe it can be done. You cannot deny our fate, but one course lieth before us. Well, we are villains, are we not? Stoic nods all around. Good. I leave the Blessed in your capable hands, Runar. Very well. I see there's no changing your mind. By all that is dark, I swear to keep the Blessed safe. According to the tablet, we will first need to obtain a seal used to identify the allies of Ronka in times past. One such seal should be waiting for us in a complex of underwater ruins not far from here. You have some experience with subaquatic excursions, do you not? I can breathe underwater. Then this should prove a simple task for you. The ruins we seek are the bottom of Lake Sui Mekta? Those are words, those are letters smushed together. While you see to that, Minfilia and I will remain here to help shore up Slitherbow's defenses. Your aid would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, fucking Emmett being a dick face. He's like, I see these guys think that these guys are Light Wardens. Let me just teleport away real fast so that gets really solidified in there. Fuck you, Emmett. You've committed the cardinal sin of boring me. Alright. I think I'm gonna call it there. My brain's beginning to liquefy. It could have been me that made you realize something horrible. What'd you realize? That's very possible. It sounds like something I would do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was me. The power of Emmett. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop there for the night. Shit's in danger. But don't worry, beyond the precipice of this scary settlement, Lahi is still waiting for us. Lahi will always be there. Imagine Emmett Selk. Oh no. Yeah. Tomorrow's Monday. We're not raiding tomorrow, and I don't have work tomorrow. So, like, when I wake up a clock, dude, the fucking world's my oyster. So, if I don't do more New Game Plus, God knows what I will do. Maybe I'll just do more New Game Plus. Shadowbringers is nice. You know? So many unanswered questions. That Ascian's definitely still watching us. In fact, he's watching me hop around in this puddle right near this Aetheryte right now. He's like, wow, this is the Warrior of Light that's killed my people, huh? She's just jumping in circles in this puddle. Weird. But hopefully I will see y'all tomorrow. And if I don't, then, well, next raid is Thursday. I'll probably stream before D&D on Tuesday. But if I don't, Thursday. Good night!